Hello, hello, and welcome to Wednesday at 1. We are in a very funky place today, and in this funky place, we're going to talk about something that's been up around me a lot in the last week, and that's the issue of friends and friendship, men and friendship, people to hang out with, people to belong with, people to just, nothing in particular, but just be around, normality of that. So it came up in Time to Talk Day. Time to Talk Day is this special day, and I put on, or a fellow of the RSA and I put on an event at the RSA for Time to Talk Day, and it's about talking, hanging out, connecting, talking about mental health, normalising stuff like that. So it came up there about isolation. It came up, thank you Caroline Rice, I was in the Happy Monday column on Monday, actually. How funny is that? And it was all about that. What a shame that we need to have a day to talk. What a shame that we need to have a reason to connect, or to tell a joke, or to just pass comment. And it's all I noticed, I sent an email, I responded to an email with someone, and I started it by saying sorry, and I thought, wait a minute, that's a bit weird. And then I read her email, and she started her email to me with sorry. It's like, what? We're sorry, we're connecting, it's outrageous. It also came up in Men Facilitate on Saturday, and there's a bunch of us who either already run men's groups or communication, kind of community groups, and new people, and we really dug into the issue of men and friendship and communication and connection and how to do it and how it has and hasn't worked in our lives, and what we wish to achieve by facilitating groups. And it's not just about the groups. I know two guys that were in a close group together. They ended up, I think, they travelled around Asia, Southeast Asia together, and had adventures and, met some goals and got lost in all sorts of things. Quite a few people actually have met a lot of people through the MenSpeak community, through the men's groups. So I'll tell you what I'll do. I have a dear John. No, dear John's when you're chucking someone, isn't it? So it's not a dear John. So check this out. This is what came through. I have been feeling really frustrated about my situation. Lack of friends have seriously been affecting my life. I'm 26 and I'm without a single friend. I've turned to Craigslist, Personal, OkCupid and internet sites to find someone to talk to or hang out with. But I generally completely get ignored, which is odd because I'm just honestly looking for a friend. I'm not acting desperate either. I find it really frustrating. Do you know what? Let's stop there for a sec. Craigslist and stuff, it's like there are groups and there are online things and places to go to find a friend. I think I know what I like to do. I know how I like to hang out. So I guess I would rather do what I do, see who else is doing it and what's up. Actually, I guess that's a bit weird, wandering around the forest on my own, looking for other people, wandering around and going up and saying, shall we be friends? But what do you like to do? If it's sports, the thing about the men's groups is it's more about being together than doing together, and from the being together we kind of get to know, well, people want to go camping, people want to go to comedy, people want to have an adventure in Morocco or Rajasthan or wherever, but it's about the being together. And there's one of my spiely things from Am I to I Am is one of the most important things I think that I've ever come up with and passed along. And when I came from Am I didn't really exist. It's like, am I scaring people? Am I putting on a good show? Am I impressing people? Am I fitting in? Am I anything? Am I too big, too fat, too dark, too mouthy, too whatever it was? And it was all handing power over, thinking, am I doing this right? Because I want everyone to like me. I want to stay out of criticism. I want to, and it was just, I didn't exist. I was like a chameleon, being whoever I fantasized people wanted in order to be liked or accepted or safe or invisible, normal. And then I thought, wait a minute, I'm just putting out rubbish. And if I put out rubbish, I am anything that you want me to be, then I'm going to get back rubbish. Then I thought, I need to let go of who I'm not. I need to let go of all this am I, and I need to get clear about who I am. And then I thought, well, which behaviour isn't true, isn't me anymore? The nice, delightful little Catholic altar boy was not true anymore, so he left. The surviving child, the bright kid in school, the gigolo type, whatever's not true anymore, whichever survival personalities, they had to go. And I got to realise that the most efficient way to be clear about who I am and allow my vibe to go out into the universe and be responded to by reflections who I can hang out with rather than my disowned personalities. Did I get a bit complicated there? I need to let go of who I'm not. So as I started putting out a frequency of who I am just by being true and not being preoccupied by my fears and my fantasies and my desperate needs, I started just attracting people to hang out with, to even just have a conversation with, because it's not about I have got a friend, I will keep this friend, and this friend or girlfriend or group of friends is going to save me and I don't have to deal with the world. It's more like, here and now I've had a nice interaction, here and now I've met someone great, here and now I'm doing something, and it's not about what might come of it, it's here and now. Here and now am I being present, true and connected, and noticing what life is bringing to me and responding to it? Or am I being fearful and wanting to manipulate so I don't miss out and, not really noticing what life's bringing, but reacting to it? So it went from am I to I am, and I guess friends naturally showed up. And a lot of people didn't like me.
Nelson's watching.
Hey Nelson, good to see you again. Nelson came on the Men Facilitate too. Father's work is what you do, isn't it, Nelson? And I was thinking about that for the next Men Facilitate. And I think that's another big issue here is I come from a popular family. We were not isolated. We lived in a street and we liked our neighbours. We were part of the Catholic Church community and the school community and the fish garden. We were, or are, a social family. So that's quite normal for me. Some families, I find mainly the families who weren't so social, just don't naturally know, and this might be the same for single kids without siblings, might not be naturally normally socialised, and it's normal to have family around, or cousins, or people. So that's another one to break free of. And I guess what is the bottom line? Accept, get real, and get over it. Because if I'm really evaluating how I'm doing, then I'm so busy evaluating and doing that I'm not being and available to hang out with and take part.
Joshua Zappacosta's watching.
Wow, hey Joshua. So yeah, it's like, fuck it, and get on with it. I know I shouldn't be saying the F word because maybe the BBC would think, no, we're not going to have him on again just in case he swears, and we can't afford that on our reputation. But hey, you know what I mean. So yeah, it's so cool to attract people, and it's so cool to be present with it and enjoy the interaction. And it's such a pain in the arse to be thinking, is this going okay? What am I going to say next? Does this person like me? Are we going to end up having... Maybe, if he's a good bloke, maybe he's got a really pretty sister, and then I could marry his sister. And do you know what I mean? All these with all those fantasies and fears, again, the connection's broken, and it's over there trying to fix it and fantasize. So yeah, get real, put out your frequency, and let go of everyone who's not going to like you and is not your star, and get in with the quality that you deserve to bring out the best in you. Now, there is another thing that happens, is when I got clear about myself, when I was living from who I am, then a lot of my survival friends and a lot of my we will never leave each other friends and a lot of the draining friends couldn't do it. It's like I was betraying them. They could only do relationship that way, and I guess I got into the position of, do I need to dampen it down when I'm with them and kind of to fit in with one of them? Do I have to be a bit sad or a bit survival? And I kind of thought, well, actually, the biggest gift I can give them and the biggest gift I can give myself, surely, is to demonstrate being me, getting hurt, picking myself up, having a great time, taking the risks and being alive. And if anyone wants to take the same risks and come alive, then they can. And if they don't, then at least they know. It's not like I've said, okay, I'm not moving on unless we all move on, so we're kind of enmeshed in everyone's trap there. It's, I have to go and do this now, and you're really welcome if you want to come. But yeah, I lost a lot of friends. I had to move on, I guess. And it's not against anyone, it's for me. It's not exclusive, it's more alive. It's more sharing, more open. Anyway, so another thing this guy was talking about, I think was, no, it wasn't what he was talking about. He was talking about finding people on Craigslist and OkCupid. I've worked with a lot of blokes who found friends, at least temporary friends, through the whole PUA, pickup artist community, where you go out and you talk about girls and you learn techniques and you talk about picking up and opening lines and, you know, all sorts of tricks and things. And a lot of these blokes, actually, it's the first time that they had a bunch of friends and they had a mission and they had a thing to do together. And the object of the exercise was supposed to be picking up girls. And I think for a lot of them it was picking up girls and therefore being okay and therefore being worth hanging out with or something. But it's interesting how that demanded friendships. It's interesting how working together, being at uni together, things like that demands friendships. But what about after the structure, when people, I get a lot of younger clients who after school, more than that, after uni, or after school and then dragging themselves through uni, and then there's a depression there and the community's not there anymore, then where does it start? And I guess, again, because a community is not provided on the outside, it's like, I'm going to be me and put some magic out there and see who comes back. I would love to have someone. I've got two friends who are just absolutely brilliant swimmers, and it would probably be a bore for them to teach me how to be a better swimmer. And I've asked, but it's like, we don't do that. We have, these days I guess there's a lot of limited time, so it needs to be slotted in and happen, or it needs to be, you know, what I used to do is, I've got a free evening in 2 days. There's 3 people that I might want to hang out with. Text them all and say, do you fancy, and see what comes up. Anyway, I'm rambling. I'm going to quickly finish this bit. I feel a bit distracted today. Can you see this place? It's like, check it out. Glass walls, and suddenly there's a load of people showed up. I find it really frustrating to go to interesting events or shows by myself. I do not know how to strike up a conversation with anyone. Yeah, I don't do it very often, but I love going to the cinema or getting some space. And even travelling, it's like, I love doing it on my own. I love meeting people and sharing it and saying, wow, did you see that? These days, there's Meetup, which is really handy. There are Facebook groups, there are things to join. It makes it so much easier to show up and do what you love and see if there's anyone there to share it with. But it's a big cost not to have someone there sometimes. And it's a big cost to have someone there sometimes. Maybe the grass is always greener. I recently met up with people who were looking for someone to play music with, and we met up a couple of times. They were nice people, and all of a sudden they stopped talking to me. I've said this before, and it's really upsetting to say that what runs through people's heads more than anything that I have heard of is what's wrong with me. And it's like the little boy going to his mummy from school saying no one wants to play with me or no one likes me, and it could be for 5 minutes, it could be for 5 weeks or something, but it's that feeling of what's wrong with me. Why is everyone else having a good time and I'm not having a good time? Why has everyone got someone to hang out with, or why has everyone got this exciting life? Interestingly for me, most people that I work with have everything crossed off their list, and they've got the resources and the time to hang out and do something. But what they haven't got is something to necessarily strive for, or a default crew, people that they're on a mission with, whether it's work or something else. So it is about satisfying a need to, I find very often with men, it's like to achieve something, to have a purpose, whether it's build a fire, get something done together, build something, fix something, or quite often just chat at a depth, walk through the forest, hang out and share the space. And I think I've just gone off on a tangent. I can't even work up the motivation to continue my art or music. I want to go out and experience actual meaningful conversations with people that don't end with awkward results and not hearing from them again. I feel like life is passing me by. Waiting to hear an invitation or putting out a communication that has a hook in it that needs to be responded, or waiting for judgment, or being that needy, coming from that place of what happens next and how do I get in. People can smell that at 20 paces, that neediness. If I can own my need and take care of that part of me and show up thinking, right, let the good times roll, I'm going to meet life. So it's not, I have this need and, someone take care of this. It's, I'm going to take care of this and I'm available to hang out. It's a really subtle shift, a really subtle change in perspective of, I'm here to hang out and see what happens and just take part, over and above all my needs that I'm taking care of, rather than save me, fix me, show me I'm okay. One of them's attractive and one can be hung out with. The other one's draining. And I know what it's like to be drained by people. I don't know that well when I'm being drained. And I guess that's another side to be aware of. That's another part of me that I need to find out. And what might be draining for some may not be draining for others. So it's finding your own group. The men's groups. Should I spiel about this, or is it boring that I keep going on about how great the men's groups are? The men's groups are great. And they're really good fun because we do hang out and we get real and we get to know who we are and we get to know who we don't need to be anymore, and we get to laugh and we get updates of each other's lives and to update ourselves about our own lives as we tell other people. And then there's like Men Laugh. What was it, last week or the week before? We need to do a camping thing, I guess. We need to do like a spring fire and just stuff. We get up to stuff as a community. Beyond the community, people get together, and if they've got common interests or they know someone, it's like, well, Bertie got moved the other day from one of the MenSpeak people, and that's just like, it's a better way to hang out than just hire a man and not have an adventure with it. What I love about Men Facilitate is, rather than it being about me and the way that I do things, people can pick up the tools and take them into their own communities to do it your way, to do it in the way that suits you, with your own friends or in your own area, in your own neighbourhood or in your own organisation. And it's like, maybe you're surrounded by your new best friends and you don't know it yet, because everyone's saying sorry, disconnecting, second guessing, and not saying, what's up, how you doing, or brass monkeys, how you coping, and how do you know what level to beat your heating on or something. Rather than it being some big sales spiel, it's like, what is going on right now? What's crossing your mind right now? And I guess for me, very often, my inner DJs are playing something, and I'll say, do you remember Earth, Wind and Fire, Boogie Wonderland? And it would either be, oh man, that's such a great tune, or you're such a hippie. Whatever it is, it's sharing something of who I am and where I am right now mid-conversation, rather than coming up with fear and second guessing and just not giving it a shot. I'd rather be called a hippie. Right, I have been going on and on and on while being distracted. One thing I want to say is downstairs earlier when we came here, I was on a downer, and it's like 39 seeing each other for us, what's going on? Oh, I'm overwhelmed and there's so much, and it's hibernation, and it's like, oh me, oh my. And then as soon as I checked my phone and found out that we can come upstairs to this glamorous bit and film from here, it was like, woohoo! Suddenly I was excited and over the moon, and it's like your special button was pressed. I had the distraction to allow myself to be happy and to realise that sadness is given a lot of bad press. Meanwhile, sad feelings pass, lonely feelings pass. It's hibernation time. I kind of don't see a lot of people and don't do a lot of things if I can help it when it's hibernation time. But I can distract myself with the press of a button to put on the tune or put on the heating or put something on and go for a walk and just choose to be present in a different way. Choose to relate to what's going on, whatever's on my mind in a different way, and I can give it good energy. I can give it bad energy, I can be excited, I can be fearful, I can be controlling, or I can just take a step back and let it be. Now you know what I'm going to say next, eh? I should have a lighter. Let it be, let it be. We have to stop now. So, that's it. Are we off?